Hello, my name is Anita Craig, the founder of Flow, Future Leaders of the World, and the Master Leader Program. And today we have with us Dr. Preeya Daya from KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. Welcome, Preeya.
Good morning. Lovely to be here.
And today we're going to be discussing with her a little bit around what she's going to be offering and teaching on the program, and just a sense of getting to know Preeya a little bit more. And Preeya, I know you've got a doctorate in business administration. You've got your PhD in that. And you've also got a master's in human resource. And perhaps you could just tell us a little bit about your journey, and this collection of all these things along the way that has led you to be here with us on this inaugural program.
So I think, it really has been a journey. And I think you are right that everything kind of, it's been organic unfolding, really. And it started with many years in corporate, which I was very grateful for because it really provided me with deep insight about practice, about what are the real issues that people face. And then while I was, immersed in that, I kind of realized, that there is a need for me to step out of this so that I could improve what I was doing by incorporating some other ideas and perspectives. And part of the journey of conscious engagement has been around conscious leadership. And I do think that it is probably one of the more accessible, useful tools that I have encountered throughout my years as a practitioner.
Thank you for that. Now, we're living in a time with this pandemic. We're living in a time of such uncertainty, ambiguity, paradoxes at large, both in our inner world and our outer world. So how do you see this interplay of almost this ideal shifting towards higher levels of consciousness engagement, while people are very much pulled into the realities that are sometimes all-consuming, overwhelming, very real, and often very survival-related? How have you found that? What is your sense of that, Preeya, in just this last year?
Anita, I'm going to, go back to, I've said to you earlier that I think in a systems way. And, everything is interconnected. I find that the people that have been the most successful are the people that have taken the time to connect to themselves and taken the time to connect with others in the context of work and also personally. And so the humanistic workplaces where there is a focus on who you're being and how you engage have been the places where we've seen thriving.
Thank
Should
you.
I keep talking?
Mm-hmm.
Is that clear?
That was clear. So I guess the next obvious question to me then is, what would you say, Preeya, are the qualities or even competencies that leaders most need to develop and acquire today to lead sustainably into the future?
Values-based leadership is the way forward. When we are unconscious and we only focus on profit and we say, right, let's just go, 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 go. In that process, we lose a lot of the value of slowing down. There's that saying, are you on the dance floor or are you on the balcony? There's a notion of us just taking a little bit of time to pause, to stand on the balcony and see where we are at.
Wonderful. Thank you, Preeya. And what would you say if there was a wake-up call? What would you say their orientation should start to be in terms of their investment, their nurturing, their development, their encouragement of their people, their workforce, their leaders, their emerging leaders going forwards?
Well, the first one is, are they being honest? So what I find is that there are many organizations that espouse having values-based organizations, but in fact, in practice, they're really not living there, right? So it's about, is this what the organization really wants? Mm. The reality is conscious leadership is not the easiest journey because it involves going into yourself and it involves some level of introspection. But when you have leaders who say, actually, there is so much value in this that we're willing to do the work, and that work is intimidating. But when you actually take the time to say, right, we're going to do this and we're going to chase it, then you will see the results.
just to, because there could be some skeptics out there going, well, so what is the payoff? I'm hearing pain. Whoa, I want to avoid pain at all costs. Why would I want to invest in a painful journey? What really is the payoff here?
There are more organizations that actually avoid it than organizations that are willing to take it on. The organizations that are willing to take it on are usually quite brave. So let me give you some examples. People know that this is the right way to go, right? More and more, because the theory tells you, anybody that's reading right now, the latest management theory, understands that humanistic workplace is where we're going. The disconnect is when you see the amount of reflection that is required. That people often think that conscious leadership, oh yeah, it's tra la la la, let's all come together and hug. In fact, it's quite the contrary to what this whole process is about. Conscious leadership is about honesty. It's about having frank and open conversations with one another. And so I'm not sure if you have already introduced everybody to the concept of a growth mindset, where we say, let's seek opportunities to grow. Let's move out of negative patterns of behavior that hold us back and move forward into conversations that help us to move forward. So the reason it's not easy for many organizations is because people don't have the technical know-how about how to do that. But that's something that can be fixed. That's something that's a skill that we can learn.
Thank you, Preeya. Now, you've had involvement, and I think continue to, with the UCT Alan Gray Center for Values-Based Leadership. What is it, your observations of those organizations that do follow that path and those leaders that do follow that path versus those that don't, and where they're left on the journey?
At the heart of it is trust. So organizations where there's values-led leadership, there's a sense of, I can trust the leaders to take the organization in the right direction. When there are values, but they're just espoused and not lived, people don't know what to expect. And so that uncertainty manifests in all different kinds of ways, right? It's about the psychological contract. It's about, you say that this is the strategy, but in fact, is this really the strategy? Is it going to change?
What is this relationship between values-based and values-led organizations and leadership and conscious engagement? What's the dance between the two?
So let me put it this way. If leadership are not connected to their values, there is low trust and you can't have employee engagement in that context. So values-based leadership is one of a number of different key variables that you need to have in order to drive employee engagement. That's very simply, I can get into more complex theory, but very simply,
foundational
trust equals high engagement. So if my manager is saying, look, I really value you, but in their behavior, they don't really show me that they value me, then, I'm not going to be engaged, because immediately I pick up, what, these are just words.
And this program, having you collaborate with us, is really designed and intended, to give people the exposure to this diverse range of our faculty, the wisdom teachers, the luminaries, the CEOs, that people can have this well-rounded experience that hopefully breaks through this possibly limiting identity that we tend to hold on to see that there's these new possibilities out there, to experience them, taste them, the sense of shifting and lifting, including and transcending. So thank you for bringing your piece in to this work around values-based leadership and conscious engagement and all the other wisdom that you hold around you.
Thank you.
Are there any final comments for the viewers, or just in general, that you would like to share with us before we close?
I think that, this is a journey. I almost think that, can you afford to not embark on it? And that's where I'm at right now, is that there is, if you want to live a life where you are more peaceful and productive, and when we look at, just the growth mindset that you need to have moving into the future, in terms of your technical skill set, but also your personal skill set, it's not just us that's saying that this is important. People like the World Economic Forum are saying, you know what, if you want to move forward, personal mastery, I think it's number 1 or 2. So we need to get better at navigating ourselves, understanding ourselves better. So I wish you, I wish you everything the best on that journey. And I really do think that joining this program will be good for you. Because it's difficult to access this information on your own and apply it in a way that that is made easier. So what this program will do for you is to give you access to great material, but also help you to experience and apply it and integrate these things into your life in a more accessible way.
Thank you, Preeya. Thank you so much.
Join.
Today, wonderful to dialogue with you.